between the way the Alter Rebbe, the Balatanya, spread it out Chassidus, and his teacher, the Maggid of Mezrich. That even though the Alter Rebbe explained the need to spread out Chassidus after, nevertheless, he went into jail, and he had a doubt if he should spread it out. Seemingly, the question is, why should he have a doubt? Why should we spread out Chassidus if he is the one to explain the need and the necessity to learn Chassidus? That this is the way to revive the Jewish people from fainting and from dying out in the darkness of Godus. So how could the Alter Rebbe have a doubt? Should I continue? And he needs his teachers, the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid, to come to him and get revealed to him and explain him the need to spread out Chassidus. So now the Rebbe is going to explain over here. According to what we explained before, the difference that there's two ways of learning Chassidus. There's one way of learning Chassidus in a form like learning a Gemara. When someone learns Gemara, what does that mean? That you understand it deeply and well, and you analyze it and you bring things down. Then there's a way of a Mishnah. Mishnah is what? Short, condensed, a few lines. There's a way of learning Chassidus in a very short, condensed way, just to have little points, and then there's a way to understand it very deeply and well. This is what the Rebbe is explaining over here. HaChidush, be'efin gili Chassidus haldeir Rabbeinu Hazaken, lagabe Baal Shem Tov HaMaggid v'Talmideihem, yishliris b'pashtus, keshelemdim teres Chassidus, shenizgal solanu. Shenyoni Chassidus shenizgalu aldeir Baal Shem Tov HaMaggid v'Talmideihem hem be'efin shel nekudeis u'v'kitzur. Al derech lashon ha-mishnah and shitavar kotzer. Ma she'enkin biura inyonim. Shebeteres Chassidus Chabad. Shenizgalu al yedei Rabbeinu Hazaken u'be'efin shel archava v'shakel v'tarya. Shebemamori v'teres Chassidus shalei yacham sefer atanya. Bir inyoni teres Chassidus be'efin shel avana v'asago k'shema teres Chassidus Chabad. So the Chiddush, what's so revolutionary of the Alter Rebbe, the Balatanya, over the other disciples of his teachers, the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid? The Baal Shem Tov introduced the whole idea of Chassidus to the world. The Maggid was the Baal Shem Tov's student, and the Maggid had many other students also. Not only the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe was one of the students. What is the difference between the Chassidus Chabad, the Alter Rebbe, and the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid and the Alter Rebbe? What's the difference between, if we could split it into two in general? You have the Baal Shem Tov, the Maggid, and the other students of the Maggid and the Alter Rebbe. But what was the Alter Rebbe unique? That only he ended up going to jail and locked up for spreading out Chassidus, and he needed to ask his teachers when he was in jail, why am I here? And they told him, because you're spreading out Chassidus too much. And he needed them to tell him, continue spreading out Chassidus. What's the difference between the Alter Rebbe and his other friends, his other students of his other colleagues? So the Rebbe explains that the way the Baal Shem Tov and his student, the Maggid, spread it out Chassidus, and the other students of the Maggid, besides for the Alter Rebbe, is in a way, it's done in a form of saying things very short and condensed, without elaborative explanation and understanding in one's mind, and to rationalize it and to understand it in someone's brain. There's Chassidus concepts, Chassidic thoughts, topics, words, inspirational sentences, but they're very short to the point. The way, the hashkafa, the derech of the Baal Shem Tov, the Maggid, and the other students of the Maggid, besides the Alter Rebbe, was to spread out Chassidus and to teach Chassidus in a very short way, very short, condensed form, not to really delve down and analyze it and understand it strongly, very, very well with your brain, with your understanding, to connect to it with your seichel. It's a very short ideas, and that's all what they did, and that itself gave Yidden Chayis. It revived Jewish people. It inspired Jewish people to learn Torah and do mitzvahs. What was the Alter Rebbe doing? No, the Alter Rebbe did it in a form of Gemara. The other students who are doing it in a way of Mishnayos, short. The Alter Rebbe did it in a form of Gemara. He took the topics and the concepts of Chassidus and he analyzed it and he explained it and he broke it down. That's why it's called Chassidus Chabad. What does Chabad mean? It's an acronym of Chochmah, Bina, Das. Understanding, analyzing, intellect and wisdom. That the concepts of Chassidus shouldn't just be vertalach, shouldn't just be short, condensed words and sentences. Rather, it should be, you should be able to really analyze it and understand it and give lengthy explanations and to really, really understand the concepts of Chassidus. That's what the Alter Rebbe was doing. Like a Gemara in comparison to Mishnayos, on the contrast. V'shini zeh be'evin shel gili teres achsidus yishleimar shahu shegoram likitrug achodesh al Rabbeinu Hazakin. Kam la'acharish in izmat lakitrug ala magid al dei azvaras hamoshel mishchikas even yikoresh bekeser hamelech b'shvil hatzolas chai ben hamelech. This difference, and the change in the form of spreading, of revealing Chassidus, this is what caused on the Alter Rebbe an accusation. This caused the Alter Rebbe to go to jail, even though the Alter Rebbe explained the need to spread out Chassidus, why it's a must, like we explained the other day, of the example of the son of the king that's sick and is about to die, and the only way they can save the king's son is through taking the crown jewel from his father, from the king's crown, and to grind it and make a medicine, to make a powder and mix it into water. That's what the Maggid was doing. And the Alter Rebbe explained the need. And that was how much Chassidus are you teaching? Little drops. How much water do you need to go from this medicine to revive the son of the king that he shouldn't die out? Is a little drop of water. You have a diamond, you grind it up in a little small thing. That's why what the Alter Rebbe explained why his teacher was spreading out Chassidus. But in what form was he doing it? Small little tidbits. What was the Alter Rebbe doing? The Alter Rebbe wasn't taking Chassidus and spreading it out into little vertalach, little small things. If he would be doing that, nothing would have happened to him. He wouldn't end up going to jail. What did the Alter Rebbe do? The Alter Rebbe took Chassidus and he started making a mabul. He started making a flood. He started making a hurricane. He started exploding the world with not little drops of water, and not only with buckets of water, with oceans of Chassidus. And therefore, because he's doing it in a totally different form, in a totally different way, then that caused a new kitruk, a new accusation, a new plot against him in Shamayim. Wait a second, even though you explained the need to spread out Chassidus, you explained the need to spread out little tippets. You did not explain the need to make an ocean over here, to overflow, to flood the world with Chassidus. Therefore, you ended up in jail. Again, Ubabir Yosef, explain this more. But Moshiach Rabbeinu Hazakin al Varatzos Chayav Shal Ben HaMelech al Adei Shchika So'even HaToiv Shebekeser HaMelech. In the parable we gave before that, the Alter Rebbe said to save this life of the king's son through grinding the crown jewel. Mudgesh HaTzeirech Shedikonis L'chol HaPachis Tipa Achas L'Piv Shal Ben HaMelech Asher Tipa Zu Tatzil Es Chayav Shal Ben HaMelech. So when the mashal is emphasized, what? The need that one drop, only one drop needs to go inside to the mouth of the king's son in order to save the life of the king's son. And just like it's in the parable, we can understand it in what we say this parable for. Gili Achsidus, Pnimis Atera, Ha'even Achia Kodesh Bekeser HaMelech, Akolpani Be'efin Shal Nekuda Tipa Achas, O Kedis Karalil, Shagam Nekuda Achas Shal Pnimis Atera Shebekeichel HaChis Es Ben HaMelech. And what do we say this regarding Chassidus? Revealing Chassidus, the way it was done through his teachers, was done in a way of one dot, one point, to know one inyan, to know one concept, very small, very condensed, to know a one idea of Chassidus. This is enough already to revive a Jew, to give a yid chayis in the Avodas Hashem. V'ray ledavar. Gili Achsidus Ve'efin Shal Nekuda Al Dei Abal Shem Tov HaMagid V'Talmidei V'Talmidei Talmideim L'Direisam Hoyilu Po Ala Hachis Es Ben HaMelech V'hem Midirei Mushleimim La'olafim L'Revav Yizchulu. And the proof of this is the revelation of Chassidus through the Baal Shem Tov and the Magid and their students. for generations and generations, we see clearly that it revived thousands of Jewish people. There's thousands of Chassidim that are not Chassidus Chabad. There's thousands of Jewish people in the Chassidish world that they're serving God with a great passion, with love and fear. And where is that coming from? That's coming from the Chassidus that they're learning. But what type of Chassidus are they learning? They're learning little points, little nekudes, little tippets. And that is enough to revive Jewish people, that they should have chayis in their learning Torah and doing mitzvahs, and we see that clearly. Aval kasher Rabbeinu Hazaken Yizchak legalas as Teiras Achsidus leirak beifin shel nekuda tibachas ele beifin shel harchava al the Teiras Chabad as ein ischadish akiter glamayla. But with the Alter Rebbe, what did he do? He started to reveal Chassidus not in a way of little drops, rather in a way of explaining things in a very elaborate way, to analyze it very well, in a very lengthy way, in a very, abundant way, and in a way that it should be understood with one's mind. Then already this caused in Shammai a new plot against him. Why is he spreading out Chassidus in such a form, in a way of Archava? Mavana Vasaga from Teiras Chabad. To explain Chassidus in a very elaborate way, to flood the world, that's not needed to save the life of the king's son. That is not needed. You're able to save the life of the king's son through just giving over little points. That's also going to save the life of the king's son. Should he say there's suffocate Rabbeinu Hazaken shulei tzarich lahavsik megili divrei Chassidus ba'efen kazeh falzeh hidei Beisov shaldei miseris nafshei v'shivaseh b'maiser pal l'maylo sheyuchal lahamshich legalis divrei Chassidus ba'efen shel archava va'adrabe l'ksheteitzei teimar yeser kedei liyasher Yisrael l'hachin libam l'gilui seid ta'ameh u'mister tzv'nisah shel sheyizgalu bevias ha-Moshiach ve'ad kamayim layom ha-machasim. So this is the reason why the Alter Rebbe had a doubt. Should I continue to spread out Chassidus when he was in jail? Why was this his doubt? Maybe he should stop not spreading out Chassidus at all, the way his teachers were spreading it out. That he would have no doubt that he should continue, because he explained why it's needed, and in Shamayim they agreed. His question was, should he stop spreading out Chassidus in the way that he was doing it, in a way of overflowing, flooding the world with Chassidus? And this is what his teachers told him, the Baal Shem Tov and the Amag. They said, because you sat in jail, and because of your Mesidus Nefesh, from now on, when you go out, you should continue what you were doing. And on the contrary, you should do even more, not only just to continue, you should do it, not only you shouldn't stop, you should do it, not only continue, you should do even more. Why? What was the Alter Rebbe's purpose? Why is he saying to overflow the world? Why? Because this is the way we're going to prepare the world for the coming of Moshiach, when then the whole world will be busy and occupied in learning Chassidus in a way of Chachma bin Adas. Yisrael Chachamim G'deilim Nis Chachma V'yedim Dvarim Asasuvim, which is Das, V'yasigu Das V'yedim, which is Bina. The Rambam clearly writes that when Moshiach is going to come, the whole world is going to be busy learning about Hashem in a form of Chachma bin Adas. They're going to be learning Chassidus Chabad. And in order to, and they're going to be doing it in a way of not only little tippets, but they're going to be learning Chassidus Chabad in a form of Kamayim Layom Achasim. Just like when you look at an ocean, you don't see anything besides for the water. So too, the whole world is going to be busy. The whole world is going to be overflowed with Chabad, with Chassidus. Therefore, now we need to prepare the world for that. And that's what the Alter Rebbe was doing. The Alter Rebbe was spreading out the light of Chassidus in this form. I'm just thinking, I thought now, seemingly, if the Rebbe explains over here the need to do it, and why you need to do it, and the must to do it, so why did the Alter Rebbe end up going to jail? Why should there even be a kitrik? If it's needed to prepare the world for the coming of Moshiach, and you have to do it, so why is there a plot against him in Shamayim? Maybe you could say that maybe the Alter Rebbe was doing it before its time. If it would be, if a guy's preparing a cholent on Sunday, so you could say, hey, what are you preparing a cholent now? Friday, Thursday. Why are you preparing a cholent on Sunday? Yes? Cholent is food for Shabbos, not for Sunday. Even though you're preparing it for Shabbos, it's a little too early. But what's the point? The Alter Rebbe was the first generation. The Mittel Rebbe is the second generation. The Tzemach Tzedek is the third. The Rebbe Marash is the fourth. The Rebbe Rashab is the fifth. The Rebbe Rayatz is the sixth. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe is the seventh Rebbe. The seventh, it says that Moshe Rabbeinu was the seventh. Avraham was the first. Yitzchak was the second. Yaakov was the third. Yosef was the fourth. Yosef. Then you had Moshe is the seventh. Before him was Amram. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Yosef. I think the father of Amram, and Amram, then Moshe. Moshe Rabbeinu was the seventh. Maybe Aaron. So Moshe Rabbeinu was the seventh. The seventh generation was the one to bring the Shekhinah back down to this world through Matan Torah. So the Alter Rebbe, it's like Avram Avinu is already starting to. So with Avram is the first. It's like Sunday. You have 7 days of the week. The seventh day is Shabbos. So the seventh day. So on Friday, if the sixth Rebbe would be doing Chassidus in a way of Kamayim Layam Chasim, okay, it's understood. There's no problem. Because this is preparing for the seventh, for the generation of like Moshe Rabbeinu to bring the Shekhinah down to this world through Matan Torah, through the Geula, through the coming of Moshiach, and then there's going to be Kamayim Layam Chasim. But the Alter Rebbe, the first generation on Sunday, you're already preparing a challenge for Shabbos. That's l'chayra too early. And then maybe that's why the Kittul was then. Which what do we see from here? That we do not wait around. We have to try to chaparain as much as possible to prepare to bring the Geula as fast as possible. Not to push things off. Even if it's way, way early, extra early. Nevertheless, we should already then be ready for Mashiach. And actually, this is what we see, that Beis Shammai held, you need to already prepare for Shabbos from Sunday. Beis Hillel said, you prepare for Shabbos from Friday. Beis Shammai says, you prepare for Shabbos from Sunday already. You would go around in the marketplace, and you already found a nice fish, and food for Shabbos. From Sunday, he was already eating Shabbos food, because he found a nice, good fish on Sunday. Then on Monday, he found a better fish. So what did he do? On Monday, he ate the fish that he prepared for Shabbos on Sunday. On Monday, then on Tuesday, he found even a better fish. So on Tuesday, he would eat the fish that he prepared for Shabbos on Monday. And basically, the whole week, he was eating Shabbos food. So maybe that's what we need to do already. Like now, especially now that we're already in the seventh generation of Moshe Rabbeinu, the generation that's bringing the Geula in actuality, literally when we're literally seconds before the coming of the Geula. So for sure, we need to learn Chassidus in a form of Kamayim Layam Machasim. Okay. Continue? Or we did enough? Let's continue. The action is the most important. Now we gave a whole shir. What's action? What's poel mamish? Says the Rebbe, you need to know how Shalab al Shemtiv, Fahamagid, Rabbeinu Azokin. Shalezu Belvad, Shalayavsik Chas Vashola, Milay Mardivrich Sidus, Ella Adarabe, Shayesif Yeser. How do you move on? Shazu Hi, Oira, Lekolachat Bachad Misrol. Shachayiv Lahachin Nes Atzmei. Le'eise Azman, Shalayiyah, Eise Koleilon, El Ladas, Savaya Belvad. After the Baal Shem Tov and the Magi told Alter Rebbe that when you go out of jail, you shouldn't only stop, but you should not only continue, you should do even more. should spread out Chassidus even more in this way, overflowing the world in a way of learning Chassidus in an understandable way. What is every single one of us, what was the Alter Rebbe's purpose? To prepare the world for Moshiach. Not only to revive the Jewish people from the darkness of Golus, but we should be ready for the time of Moshiach, when then the occupation of the whole world was going to be busy with learning the knowledge of God in a way of Kamayim Le'yam HaChasim. Therefore, every single person needs to set aside a time when he learns Chassidus, he learns about Hashem in a form of the same way we're going to be doing it when Mashiach comes. To be ready for the coming of Mashiach. Then when we're going to be learning about Hashem in a form of understandable way, and in a way that we're going to be totally immersed in the teachings of Chassidus. So too, we need to be busy with that already now before the coming of Mashiach. Like that, when Mashiach comes, it should be a natural thing for us, not a miracle. I mean, move on. Shagam Mishal Afid Haitoi, Limud Pnimis Ateda, Abafrat Waven Shachach Babin Das, Limud Barchovo, Havonov Asok Yisparnusun, Eide Buchrach Lahachayes Nafshe. Therefore, even if according to someone, a guy holds according to his understanding, learning Chassidus in a way of understanding it in a very deep way, he doesn't need it in order to revive him from the darkness of godless. He could be a frum Jew, serving God with love and fear, without learning Chassidus Chabad. He doesn't need it. According to his understanding, according to his opinion, he doesn't need to learn Chassidus in a way. He doesn't need to learn Chassidus in a way to save his spiritual life. According to his opinion, really, it's not true that in order to save your life now you need to learn Chassidus in a way of understanding. But let's say he holds that you don't need to learn Chassidus Chabad. You could just learn other Chassidusim to save himself from the darkness of Galus. Says the Rebbe, and this guy continues. V'dayo matzah b'kavod limud nigla de teira, v'limud divrei musar, v'limud divrei Chassidus shel Abal Shem Tov, ha'magid v'talmideim, v'talmidei talmideim, k'tei lizkaber ala cheshech kofel ha'mechubel dikvas et ha'mashiach. So, first of all, a person comes around and he's saying like in his opinion, in order for him to be revived and not die out from the darkness of Golus, in the spiritual darkness, to save his spiritual life, it's enough for him to learn Nigla de Torah, to learn Gemara, to learn the revealed part of Torah, and to learn Chassidus of the Baal Shem Tov, the Magid, and the other students of the Magid and the Baal Shem Tov. And he does not need to learn Chassidus Chabad in order to save himself from the darkness of God. He can serve God and be a frum Jew. He's going to keep halacha, keep shulchan aruch, he's going to learn Chassidus, but he doesn't need to be in a way of Chacham and Ben Adas. He's going to stay alive. Says the Rebbe, "Ein chiyifte de atzme milimud zeh, k'shepsakte in borer halacha lemaise, benikle de teire, v'hilchas talmud teire shel harav, admei razaki, shekol nefesh mi Yisrael chayiv lilmid kol ha-teire kula, hein bepshate ha-halachis, hein beremazim, udrashos, v'soidos, v'seidem izeh, ma shekasav b'makam acher, shekol nefesh mi Yisrael mechuyiv l'chadesh, seichel chodesh, hein ma'alachis, hein ba'agodis, hein benigel, hein benista." So the answer to this person is, how could he exempt himself when there's a clear psak din halacha l'mais in the Shulchan Aruch Harav? The Alter Rebbe writes in Hilchos Talmud Torah that every Jew, according to Nigla, according to the Nigla de Torah, there's a chiyuv for every Jew to learn Torah in a deep form, to learn the secrets of the Torah. And a person is not only meant to learn the deep secrets in a deep, understandable way, but even more than that, he needs to Chassidus Chabad. He needs to revolutionize a new understanding. How could someone do that? It's only through Chabad, when a person really delves deep into it. I have one paragraph left, and then you'll ask. Yeah? Validei yefutza my nisecha chutza pirsum va'afatzas ha'mayonis achsidus b'chol makom u'makom ad she'egiu kam chutza niske b'koriv k'aftachas malach ha'mashiach l'Baal Shem Tov l'ka'asim ma'arad ha'malka Mashiach shezikoi ma'yihud k'mal ha'aretz Deya Savaye Kamaim Layom Machasim Ubimheira Beyameinu Mamish. Through spreading out the wellsprings of Chassidus outward, advertising and spreading out the wellsprings of Chassidus in every single place in the world till it's going to reach the furthest place, we will merit very soon, like the King Moshiach promised the Baal Shem Tov that he's going to come when they spread out Chassidus around the whole world. And then what's going to happen when Moshiach comes? The world will be filled with the knowledge of God, just like the ocean covers over the river, the ocean bed. So too the whole world is going to be filled with the knowledge of God, and it shall be speedily in our days. Amen.
Okay, so I don't.